Boom shakalaka. You know, had you have bought $6,849 of Polygon Matic before the last alt season and then sold at the top, you would have become a millionaire. Does a similar opportunity exist? Could similar layer 2 STARKNET make you a millionaire purchasing $348? Realistically, stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we are taking a look at could a mere $348 of STARKNET make you a millionaire realistically. Before we get into it guys, like the video, come join us on Twitter through Crypto Love, and of course subscribe to my favorite channel on YouTube, this one. Now, as I was saying, had you have purchased, I know we're talking about STARKNET today, but had you have purchased Matic, similar because it's a layer 2 on Ethereum, now had you have purchased it before the last alt season, and then sold at the top, guess what? You would have made yourself a millionaire if you would have bought $6,849 when it was at 2 cents, when I made videos about it, telling everybody to buy Matic down at the bottom then. And then if you would have sold at the top, you would have 146x'd that almost $7,000 investment, making you a millionaire. Why didn't you do that? What's wrong with you? Don't beat yourself up. It happens to all of us all the freaking time. But does a better opportunity exist today? There's a brand new, maybe not brand new, but there's another layer 2 that maybe could do the same as Matic. Maybe could even do better. Maybe $348 of it could make you a millionaire. And we're going to take a look at, is that realistically possible in this video today? So I hear you asking, why STARKNET? Why now? What does this have to do with Tony Stark and Iron Man and I guess the Avengers and Marvel and all that other fun stuff? Well, we'll get into some of that. I won't go into the whole Tony Stark type thing. But if we take a look, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum tend to echo each other. Generally, Bitcoin leads Ethereum by just maybe a month, a little bit of time. As of right now, Bitcoin's already breaking out from downtrend. Ethereum's just starting to break out from its downtrend. So we might have Ethereum price going up in the near future. As a matter of fact, if we take a look down here, the SEC has approved Form 19B4 for 8 Ethereum ETF issuers. So there's going to be Ethereum ETFs. Today's approval of the spot ETH ETF signals the SEC views that ETH is a commodity and not a security, contrary to the position it continued to take prior to the events of this week, which means we saw what happened to Bitcoin after the spot ETF approval. Could we see the same thing happen to Ethereum after the spot ETF approval? Well, it's certainly possible. And if we take a look at the chart for Ethereum right now, you can see that after we have a very similar formation of these candles, which we have right now, the past 2 months for Ethereum, look at what Ethereum did after that. It pretty much launched from about 160 all the way to almost, I don't know, $1,600. Pretty much did a 10x from there. So could we be seeing the same thing? Could we see a 10x for Ethereum? Well, that might be a little bit unrealistic. Maybe a 5x from where we're at could be seen. If we take a look right here, Ethereum breaking the weekly time frame following the roadmap could see $15,000, roughly a 5x from where we are. If you take a look, this trend line with previous tops, we have similar coiling formation, resistance, breakout, and guess what comes next? Price pump, potentially to the top here, $15,000 Ethereum. So if Ethereum is going to pump, well, what about some of the other coins on Ethereum? What about Ethereum layer 2s? Could we see a resurgence of Ethereum layer 2s? Quite possibly. And from the same person that was tweeting or Xing right there, well, they say the same thing. Take a look here. Vitalik unlocked and received 845,205 STARK, which is STARKNET, from the locked token grant contract of the Ethereum L2 network. STARKNET today worth $1.07 million. Vitalik, an early individual investor in STARKNET. Hey, if it's good enough for Vitalik, it might be good enough for you or me, but clearly you need to do your own due diligence because all these things could go to zero or negative. Now, if we take a look at STARKNET, it's the secure scaling technology bringing Ethereum's benefits to the world. You can build on STARKNET, you can bridge, and you can take a look at their website, unlimited scale, using ZK-STARK or Stark technology for computational integrity. We also have superior user experience, developer hub, and creativity unleashed. You can start building by just clicking there. You can find your wallets, do all different stuff there. And if we take a look at STARKNET Hub, we can see right now total value locked, $1 billion, active accounts, 8,000, cumulative number of transactions, 110 million transactions, max daily TPS, 2.36. So STARKNET is live on mainnet, providing developers and users massive scaling, fast transactions, and low costs. Developers can harness STARKNET's power to implement their business logic of choice in a permissionless manner, and STARKNET app chains allow the benefit of STARKNET's scaling power and tools while adjusting the network's configuration and implementing unique features. So there's all your information about STARKNET, Starkware, Stark Hub, and we're just going to stop short of Tony Stark. Now, if we take a look at STARKNET on CoinMarketCap, you can see here that since it was listed on Binance, price has just been dropping. It was listed about $2.50 right now, about $1.21 for STARKNET. Price or market cap is $1.3 billion. And if you take a look, it looks like there's a downtrend right here. But could we be breaking that downtrend? As a matter of fact, if we take a look at that chart, you can see that yes, in fact, there is a downtrend right here, and it does appear like STARKNET is breaking out from that downtrend. Maybe an opportunity to get in at the bottom. And for all of you who love head and shoulders like me, who love getting head and shoulders, I don't know what I was saying with that. But anyways, potentially this head and shoulders here could have a price target of roughly $1.94. So price could go up. You know, that head and shoulders definitely looks like something else right there, but it's not appropriate for the video. Anyways, let's go to the numbers, because that's why I'm here, that's why you're here. And we really just want the numbers, and we want them to equal $1 million or greater and be in our bank account at the same time if we still use bank accounts or a crypto wallet, whatever the heck it is. Now, if we take a look at the numbers. Today, let's say you watch this video, you say that Randall guy, he makes a lot of sense. I missed out on Matic. I wish I would have bought when he said it was 2 cents, and then it went up to $2.92. But hey, he's talking about STARKNET today, and without doing any research, I'm just going to market buy as much as I can because I'm just a complete degenerate. And I would say don't do that. Do your own due diligence. I don't do due diligence behind some of these things just because I don't have the time to check out every project before I go into it. But let's say you watch the video and you like it and you do your due diligence and you say, hey, this STARKNET thing is for me. I love Marvel, and this is like the closest thing I can get to being in Robert Downey Jr.'s pants. So I'm going to go and buy me some STARKNET. Well, if you took $1,000 and you plopped it into STARKNET today, you would be able to buy 820 Stark or Strike. I guess Stark. We'll call it Stark. Now, let's say we were talking about Matic earlier. Last cycle, Matic ended up having a market cap of $19 billion. This was a very good Ethereum layer 2. Well, this cycle, we're before alt season, I believe. And maybe STARKNET is the Ethereum L2 of this cycle. Well, if it is, and if it did this cycle, what Matic did last cycle, totally reasonable, because I believe in expanding cycles theory and that we'll have bigger cycles every time. Well, if that happened, guess what? You would 14x your $1,000 with a $17 Stark, making you $13,674. That's pretty darn awesome. Of course, it could also go to zero. I should always preface these things. It could also go to zero. So, you know, in that case, it wouldn't be awesome. But if it did go up, it would definitely be awesome. Now, that's case number 1. Case number 2. So there's an Ethereum competitor called Solana. I know it's a layer 1. It's not a layer 2. We were talking about layer 2s. But let's just say it's not Ethereum yet. At its all-time high, had a market cap $90 billion. So let's say that STARKNET becomes the Ethereum layer 2 of choice, and it does as well as Solana has done previously, $90 billion. Well, if that happened, guess what? You would 65x your investment with a $79 Stark, making you $64,774. That's awesome. Imagine if you invested even more than $1,000. That would be cool if it went up. Now, those things potentially realistic. The next couple scenarios, they may be a bit of a reach. They may be a long shot. But hey, that's why these videos exist, for the long shots, because when they hit, they make me look exceptionally smart. So the next one would be, last cycle, Ethereum had a market cap of $559 billion. This cycle, Well, I expect a lot of altcoins to have a market cap what Ethereum did last cycle, that $559. Now, if STARKNET was one of those, and if you had invested $1,000 into STARKNET, guess what? You would 401x your investment, making you almost $500,000. With a $490 Stark, you would have $401,000 and $452. You could probably buy a Lamborghini with that and then go drive around and see if you could find Tony Stark. Now, which brings us to our last scenario. Last scenario is definitely out there, definitely a long shot, but hey, I just like coming up with these scenarios and then making them in the video. So let's say, a lot of people are speculating we could see a $200,000 Bitcoin this cycle. If that happened, Bitcoin would have a market cap of roughly $4 trillion. Now, another big if. People talk all the time about Ethereum flipping Bitcoin. But what happens if it is in fact an Ethereum layer 2, none other than STARKNET, that flips Bitcoin at the all-time high? I know, a lot of ifs stacked on top of each other. But if that happened, guess what? You would 2,871x that little $1,000 investment that you made with a $3,500 Stark. You would have $2.8 million. You would be a millionaire in that scenario. And if that did happen, I should say that you would actually be a millionaire with a mere $348 investment in Stark today. So, STARKNET. So that's all for this episode. If you did enjoy it, push the like button, come join us on Twitter or X at the Crypto Love, and of course, subscribe to my favorite channel on YouTube, this one. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.